I've always been fascinated by social interaction, especially the mental processes that underlie it. That's what initially drew me to the field of psycholinguistics, which studies the mental processes in language use. As a new researcher, one thing struck me as rather odd. Most psycholinguistic experiments involve a person sitting in front of a computer, hearing and seeing words, and pressing buttons. Pretty exciting, right? But we all know that most language doesn't happen between a person and a computer, yet. Most language happens between real people in meaningful social contexts. For that reason, I wanted to include a social element to my research. I decided to look at the effect of shared language background on word recognition. To do so, I compared the times it took Chinese-English bilinguals to recognize words spoken by either Canadian monolinguals or Chinese-English bilinguals with the same language background. The interesting thing about bilinguals is they're like sporks. When a spork is functioning as a spoon, it's a kind of forky spoon. When it's functioning as a fork, it's a kind of spoony fork. Bilinguals are the same. When a Chinese-English bilingual is using English, Chinese is involved. Similarly, English is involved in their use of Chinese. The two languages are functionally separate, like the function of a spoon or a fork. But the two are integrated into one mind, like a spork. Unfortunately, the presence of an additional language often slows down word recognition. It creates a kind of disadvantage. However, my preliminary results suggest that this isn't the case. Chinese-English bilinguals don't show the same disadvantage when the speaker shares the same language background as them. This implies that the way that our language system develops depends greatly on our environment and our social contexts. If you regularly speak English with other Chinese speakers, your mind will adapt accordingly. So what does this mean? For us psycholinguists, it means that we have to embrace the deeply human social aspects of language. For language learners, we must consider that although how we learn a language is important, what matters most is who we learn it with. So perhaps, as we come closer together as a global society, our minds will become better at understanding one another. Thank you very much.